Hello, everybody. Welcome back to That's What She Said. I know y'all see some new faces, so let's go ahead and introduce them.
Hi, I'm Eric.
Hi, I'm Emmanuel.
Guys, these are my friends, and y'all, who are you?
I'm Shannon.
We are closing out Mental Health Awareness Month. This will not be the last time you hear us talk about that. It'll just be a regular topics and conversation. But I wanted to make sure that we really talk about that because it's very important. But I hate when I give out, advice or something, or if I'm telling somebody what they should do or something and I don't have any solutions for them. So we're going to have some solutions linked down, some mental health lines, suicide prevention health lines, things like that. And some counseling services. We're going to really look into that for everybody so that everybody can get the help that they need. And so yeah, let's just go ahead and get into it. Today, I guess we're going to talk about embarrassing stories that happened in our childhood that's affected our young adult life and, things of that nature. And how did we move past that, or are we moving past it? Are we still going through it? What's the deal? Like, do you have any stories?
Yeah. So growing up, I was never athletic. Like, in the regard of basketball, football. So I did gymnastics growing up. And
Nice.
really?
We twins, literally.
What?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So I did gymnastics growing up.
I did too. Shoot, since we all did it, I
Yeah,
did.
so we gotta throw it out there.
I did gymnastics.
Yeah, and it was really embarrassing because I felt like it wasn't like considered a man's sport. And so it kind of affected the way that I even wanted to present myself. I was like, I had to put on kind of a persona. I'm over that now, clearly. But I always felt like I had to be more, I guess, in touch with my masculine side. And it was just kind of like a hindrance on, what I wanted to do and how I wanted to be and stuff like that. But now it's just hilarious because I'm just so myself.
Yeah.
I'm in touch with my feminine side and my masculine side. And I feel like it's not something to be discouraged about or feel weird about because sports are co-ed,
Yes.
especially in a sports dominated field. It's kind of like people are like, oh, you did gymnastics, oh my god, and I'm like, nah, I did gymnastics and I did it.
Yeah, you did it.
I flipped my butt off left and right.
Okay, I love that. I'm so glad that you were able to just stand strong in who you are and what you wanted to be. A lot of people, they get discouraged. Like that's a big story. Like you might relate to somebody out there who wanted to do something that they didn't consider to be, either masculine or feminine. So you like that. That's wow. And look at you. Just look at you.
No.
You're special.
Thank you, baby.
Just glowing. Oh my God. I love when people are just unapologetically themselves. You have a story?
I do. It's nowhere near, as deep as that. It's not, it's not on that same level. But I want to stay back in I want to say 7th grade. You know how I like art and stuff like that. So I had an art class and we were painting the backdrops for our drama department. Because they were about to put on a play. We're painting the backdrops, doing our thing, and I forgot what in the world I was painting. I was painting like these big red panels, and I stepped into the little things you roll the paint in. I stepped into that. I slipped. I fell face first on top of the wet panel, and back in school we had uniforms or whatever, so I was wearing these khaki pants and stuff like that. Wow. And it hurt really bad, honestly. It hurt. Everybody was laughing at me. I was crying. I looked like a loser. I ran away into the little bathroom. And then
it was so movie. It's giving High School Musical.
Yeah.
It was so sad. And then I called my mom.
Candles, girl.
I called my mom and I was like, can you bring me some more pants?
No.
And then like on the phone, I guess she misheard me, and like she got up to the school and she brought me pads.
Oh.
And then it was not what I needed.
Oh.
But meanwhile, like to wait for her to get there, because you know it took time for her to get there, and art class ended, so I had to go back to class covered in paint, like, and then like I was the last one in class because like it took a while for me to leave, so it was like everything stopped when I walked through the room, and I was like covered in paint. Everybody started laughing at me, and it was like all my friends was laughing at me. I was like, y'all so fake.
Yeah, like not my friends.
Not the real ones, right? Like, I don't know, that had really hurt me. Like that was like, that stayed with me for a little while. I was like,
Really?
y'all, yeah, I'm like, y'all fake friends. Like, like I don't know. Like that was an embarrassing moment for me. That was a big one for me. How about you?
Well, me, I never get embarrassed, darling. No, actually, it's funny. It's funny that you said what you said about gymnastics, because I quit acting for a long period of time because of that. So like, you know, people. I think we grew up in that era of like where people were starting to accept everyone for who they were, and they were trying to get out of those traditional ways. Yeah. But for a long time, people considered acting to be a feminine thing. Yeah. And so to deal with that and to be bullied and all those different type of things, I dropped out. I was like, I'm not about to pull up with the foolishness, you know what I'm saying? But of course, it's hard to come out of something that you love. You know, I love the arts. That's what I do to this day. So to have to come out of that because of what other people had to say. I remember a time specifically, I was in elementary school, and y'all remember them little Kool-Aid packets? When your mama used to pack your lunch, she put the little Kool-Aid packets, so you had a little Kool-Aid in the water. And so, you know, it changed lip colors. It'll change the lip colors. And so my lip color was red that day. And I went to the bathroom, and these boys that came in there, and they just went to town on me. Just
No.
Yes, they did.
No.
Yes, they did.
No.
Because of my lips. I said.
From the Kool-Aid packet.
And I quit acting because of that.
Oh
and that was embarrassing for me because I was like, dang, I stopped drinking Kool-Aid at school. I stopped, and you know, everybody was like, you know, you act real feminine. Nobody wants that, all that stuff. So for a long time, I went through this whole like I look like a butch queen. Like I that's not, you know, that's not me. So after a while, of course, I stopped caring because for what? I know who I am. I know who I am. I know what I like. I know all that type of stuff. But you know, you younger, you listen to what other people say because you think their opinions are valid, and they're not. But
wow,
yeah,
it's real.
Yeah, that hurt my soul.
That really did. Like,
I can laugh about it now.
I'm not like, but even just like I've
Think
known
about
you
it.
for so long.
I can't.
And just like to even, you know, anything like that just rubbed me the wrong way.
I know,
hate
but
when people
you want to know what the worst part is? I end up getting in trouble for it by the teacher. It's the craziest thing. 4th grade, I remember it. She wrote my little name. It was the end of the year. She wrote my name on the board for the end of the year party. She was like, "You're not coming since you want to be fighting in the bathroom." I said, "I'm not fighting in the bathroom. They assaulted me." And she wouldn't let me call my mama. She wouldn't let me do that. I literally had to it was a mess.
Wow.
Crazy. But look at me now.
Period.
Look at me now.
Yeah. Hey. No, like I hate that. Like people are like, kids are such bullies. Like, and do you realize like the things that you went through in your childhood like really can affect how you view yourself? Like, that's horrible. And you know, I just both y'all with y'all stories. I'm glad that y'all were able to just say, "I'm me. I do this." You know what I'm saying? Nothing that y'all will do will, you know, influence how I feel about myself. That's a big thing. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
My story.
Yeah, let's hear it. I forgot you ain't sharing nothing yet. Go ahead.
It's very, for me, it's embarrassing. I feel like I worked past it, but a part of me just kind of still remembers that. So, no, it was in elementary school. I think I was in 4th grade around the time, 4th or 2nd. It was one of those times. But I know I was in the after school program. And 2nd grade. So I was in the after school program, and I met this little boy in at the park, not at the park, but you know, at the school park, you know, we had that little recess thing, the playground. That's what it was. So I met him. We talking. I'm flirting with him. You know, we had a little pole, so all the girls being real fast on the little pole. We had a pole, y'all. We had a pole. We had a pole. We really did. Oh my goodness. And I remember seeing him, and we just and then I'm like, oh my God, what's your name? I'm not gonna say his name. We're just gonna call him
Jimmy.
No, we can't even call him that.
Too close.
Nah, but his name actually starts with an A. So we just gonna say A. But so he was like, yeah, do you want to be my girlfriend? And, you know, that's how elementary school relationships. You don't even gotta know the person that long. You just say you want to be my girlfriend, and that's it. Y'all don't even see each other no more after that. So I was like, yes, oh my God. And I remember it was a Friday. And I was so excited for Monday. And I'm like, Mom, I have a boyfriend. I have to get this school uniform skirt. I have to get the necktie. You gotta get my hair, like, I dressed to the T, okay? I get to school, and I got my little rolling book bag, because I was extra. I never had a carry-on book bag. I was rolling. So I roll in the cafeteria for after school, and that's where all the kids met up. Everybody in the cafeteria ran up to me, and they were like, "Ooh, he played you. He played you. You thought he liked you. You thought he liked you. He played you. Ooh." And I'm just like, "Oh, you lying." And so I ran to the bathroom, and I'm just like, "What?"
That's crazy.
And so, with me not even, first of all, when I was younger, like in elementary school, I had a lot going on. Like I was probably a little chunkier, and then I wasn't as like, I don't know, I wouldn't say I was lame, but I just had an awkwardness to me. Like I just knew I was just, you know, different. Like, you know, that's great. We're artists.
Like me right now.
Right.
We're artists. So yeah, like now I'm older, I can say, okay, I'm an artist. There's something different about me, and I knew that. Like I never felt like I really fit in anywhere. So like I had people I could sit with, and you know, they wasn't there, I'm by myself. But you know, I just knew it was something different. So without knowing why he did that, it left a lot of room for me to fill in the blanks. And so I really criticized myself, and I was like, dang, what's wrong with me? I'm like, why, you know, is it what I'm looking like? Is like, what's the deal? So I really I took that to heart, and I'm like, I can remember, like, that was second grade, and I didn't get over that till probably in the middle of high school. So yeah,
that's crazy how stuff from that young can affect you so far.
Cause I never knew why.
Yeah.
So I was like, I filled in the blanks my own self.
Wow.
Your elementary school was wild.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like
that's
wow.
Crazy. I can understand the why thing, because I mean, you try to figure out like why.
Right.
Like
That's our biggest thought.
Like, why would you do that? Like, what's wrong?
Yeah.
But I think now, it's nothing wrong with me. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing wrong with me. And it took a minute to really figure that out. I feel like people don't realize people treat you how they feel, the way they feel about themselves. So he obviously had some issues going on that, you know what I'm saying, and even maybe because I wasn't that popular person. Maybe he felt like he had to be that nigga. You know what I'm saying? And you put on a front for his friends or whatever. But I'm like, bro, if you gotta do all that, you ain't securing yourself, bro. And it took a while to really just realize, like, this dude got issues, like, and it ain't me.
Yeah.
But that was very traumatic for me. Like, I
think a lot of that plays into, like, I think nowadays kids grow up faster than people did in days of old. And it's really no opportunity for kids to be kids anymore, and like their kids are making like grown up decisions as far as stuff, and now you really have to take into account that people are like when they say I'm depressed or I'm feeling this type of way, like you really have to listen to that because like people at young ages, 7, 8, 9, they're going through these things that are very traumatic for them. And there's no telling what could be happening at home too. Just like you said, you know, ain't no telling what he can be going through and then trying to impress his little friends that probably he don't even talk to no more. Yeah. All et cetera, et cetera. So I mean it's very sad that people put those things on people. But the sadder thing is they don't even realize that they're putting it on them.
Yeah.
They don't think about their actions before they think about what they do. So.
And I think like even when I was saying that I never really fit in anywhere, like I never really felt like I just had that friend group. Like I had a friend group, but I was never friends with the entire group. Right. I was always friends with that one person, but just by default, I was cool with them. Right. So if that person wasn't there or in class, then I'm like,
by yourself.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, well.
But that bothered me for a while because I am the only child, and I'm not the only. I have 2 brothers, but I didn't grow up with them, so I'm the only child. I'm the only child in the house. But yeah, I had a problem with being by myself because I was always by myself. Like even like if I'm not, running around with my mom, just in the car being her road dog, I'm by myself. Like, she work and stuff, so maybe as a child I had more energy. So I'm like, go play with my baby doll. She play with me, but after a while I was like, okay, girl, it's time to go to bed.
Right.
So I just always struggled with like not having people around. Like I always felt alone. Always felt alone.
Do you feel like that affected your journey of self-love?
Yes. Because I filled in the blanks because it's like, why? So, but then I also realized, like, I think I was talking to you about this, Shannon, like, I think I isolated myself. I don't even think it's just the fact that people didn't want to be around me. I think I isolated myself because I already had in my head that people probably don't want to be around me.
Yeah.
So I think it just took a lot of figuring out, who I am and like realizing what I have to offer. And baby, it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a great friend. You know what I'm saying? Like I care about people. You know what I'm saying? I do anything for people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know. I feel like I isolated myself, but I'm trying to get out of that. But I'm very selective of who I give my energy to. Like I don't.
But I feel like sometimes people isolate themselves to protect themselves and their feelings too.
Yeah.
Because that's very valid and important. Because I know for sure I don't let a lot of people in on my life, but that's not me trying to isolate myself. That's just me trying to protect my feelings, just because I know what's happened before when I have opened myself up. So I don't know. I don't know. Wait, hold on. Maybe it is kind of isolating yourself.
Yeah, because in a sense, you're doing it, like you said, to protect yourself. Yeah. For me, kind of like another embarrassing story, it was the 8th grade dance. And, right? Oh, those were the times.
8th grade dance. Verona.
And the theme was Hollywood. Okay. So I came with my shades on. I had my satin suit, head to toe. So the week before that, a friend, we just gonna call her Cantaloupe.
Okay.
So Cantaloupe invited Orange, right? That's the other girl.
Okay.
So we were all friends, me, Cantaloupe, and Orange. So Cantaloupe was like, yo, you should ask Orange out to the dance. I was like, that sounds like a great idea because she got denied by her date. So I was like, yeah, we're all friends. I'll just ask Orange out. So it comes to the day that I ask Orange out, and it's in the lunchroom. And so I'm a singer. So my plan was to sing to her in front of everybody. So I start singing, and all the people at her table start laughing. And she starts laughing. And so, mind you, I'm thinking, okay, so maybe they thought, like, I'm not putting 2 and 2 together. And so I go to Cantaloupe, and I'm like, yo, why are they laughing? And she's like, you didn't think she was really going to go with you, did you? Yeah.
Why did you tell me?
So why did you tell me that?
Right. It was a setup. It was a setup to embarrass me. And that's exactly what it did.
Wow.
Why do we do
At
these
this
things?
point, I don't know. At this point, the
It was
entire
crazy.
lunchroom was laughing, to the point where I was like about to cry,
Mm-hmm.
because I actually really liked orange.
Yeah.
So it just hit different,
Yeah.
and so it was so bad to the point where the coach who was watching, you would have teachers watch over the lunchroom, and he came and sat by me and he was like, "Listen, don't let anyone tell you that you're not, you know what I'm saying, what you're supposed to be." And I was like, "All right, cool." And he was like, "Don't let it get to you. You just walk out this lunchroom with your head high." A little 14-year-old me is like pissed. And I'm thinking, how could y'all? And then at that point, you're my friends. How could you set me up to embarrass me that way? And what's so crazy is, even at the 8th grade dance, just me as a person, I can't be mad at somebody too long. I used to be able to hold a grudge, but now
Same.
I can't. It's just like, all right, you did that, you messed up. All right, cool. And so I just went on with it, and they were kind of like shocked that I was nice to them. But I had to realize, even at that young age, you can't allow people to change who you are and how you treat people. You know what I mean? And it kind of goes back to the isolation part, because in a sense, you're blocking yourself off from being hurt. You're protecting your heart. You're protecting your treasure. But at the same time, I had to notice, for me in particular, I would stop being who I was in general, because I was scared that on the other end, it wasn't going to be a return on my investment as a friend. So it was just like, let me go ahead and cut this off while we here, versus, oh, you may betray me, and then I feel like now I got to treat everyone like they're going to betray me. You know? So.
Wow. Why are we twins? We talk about this every time we both have a lunchroom story.
I feel like it took us all a long time to like come to that point where we realize, like, we do have to cut people off, like, and protect ourselves. It took us a long time to realize that. I feel like you figured that out at a young age, and that's really good. It took me a long time to figure that out. I didn't start cutting anyone off until like after high school. That's when I started reevaluating my friendships, looking at like what people were putting in and how it was making me feel and how it was harming me, if it was more toxic for me to stay in this relationship. So that's like a whole breakup on its own.
Yeah.
Like that junk is heartbreaking. But
I don't know. I'm a little different when it comes to, Marique will tell you.
Yeah.
I cut people off like, it's so quick. Like, I think, you know what, because I have learned that, you human, you have the ability to fail me at any given moment. And how you do it is, you know what I'm saying?
That matters a lot.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, you know what I'm saying, if something happened in life and you couldn't make it out to something I invited you to, that's understandable.
That's life, right?
But if you intentionally
you sitting back like
harming me.
I gotta get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I just don't have time for that. Like, my energy craves consistency and it craves stability. If you cannot be a stable person to me, like friend, boyfriend, whatever you want to call it, family member, bye. Because I'm too consistent. Like, I will be there if I tell you I'm going to be there. Like, I'm gonna. So I'm not like that. So I don't put that in my life.
See, I'm a little different. I don't cut people off. I just let them dwindle away, because I feel like people will show you their true colors.
Yep.
I know how I feel about you, right? I'm not gonna cut you off because I'm just not that type of person. Like, I have a hard time letting people go, but then at the same time too, I know how to walk with you. So if you've done me wrong or you've done something to me wrong in the past, I know how to walk with you. And if you feel like what you did is sitting in your spirit and you need to dwindle yourself away, I'm not gonna stop you. Go ahead about yourself. I give people opportunities, of course, to make it up and all those different type of things. But I know how to walk with you after you've already done what you've done. So most times people get the hint and just get going somewhere else. But I don't know. I don't cut people off. I let people do that to themselves. Because they're eventually gonna do it to themselves.
Yeah.
Depending on the situation.
Yeah, depending on what the situation is. They're gonna do
I
it
think
themselves.
now, I'm gonna say I'm able to cut people off now. Before I wasn't. And I'm getting to that point because I would be so hurt. You know what I'm saying? I'll be so hurt. Like, friends, I'll be like, yo, I did this like for you. Like, why you can't come through for me? Like, what is like, what's good? And then like when it becomes a pattern, I'm like, So like, if I can cut off long-term friendships, people that's been in my family, you know what I'm saying? And you supposed to be something to me.
Right.
If I can cut y'all off, if you a new person coming in my life and you really new people, I'm telling you, like new people, you like your first impression is everything. Because it's like, if you show me that you ain't talking about nothing.
Right.
Because it's like, I done already cut off the people that I really felt like meant the world to me.
And that's the hardest part.
That's the hardest thing to do.
Yeah. And I wouldn't say cut off either. Like, you know what I'm saying? I would say cut off, but I would say, like, I'm not the
Just
type
put
of person.
distance between you.
Distance.
Yeah.
I love it from
like
afar.
just
From afar,
yes.
from a distance. That comes really in the handy, especially when you get older, because like you really start seeing like, I really do love you, and we've been friends or whatever for so long, but
we need distance.
I need
Distance myself.
I need a little bit of space from you.
Yeah.
And it could be a little permanent space too.
And I feel like that's kind of a form of cutting off, but it's not cutting. It's just.
No, it's just like, I mean, they're
slip
still
away.
there, and like we still, the love is
not
there,
an
but it's
aggressive
not.
It's just not.
It's just not.
You're not that
robust.
close
Yeah.
in proximity and also in, funny enough, relationships too. Because I feel like if we're at a point where we do need distance and we do need space, I feel like that's necessary. At a certain point in time, even with all friendships, relationships, I've learned you have to let people grow. Because the true part about forgiveness that I had to learn was like, I had to be in awkward situations with people I didn't like, people, that did me wrong, and I had to realize when you can be in the same space and it not affect you, that's how you know you've truly grown from that. You've healed from that standpoint. And what you said, when you walk with them, like, no, I know you stabbed me in the back, but that's not going to change how I am towards you.
Right.
They then begin to feel away, and it changes. It actually, not that it's a game, but you know what I'm saying, it just switches because you go from being offended to being healed. And I think that jump, it takes that space and it takes that separation.
So do you think remaining friends with your ex is helpful or harmful?
I feel like
no.
I feel like it's not. Okay, this is the thing, because I grew up in a very blended family in the regard of exes were still prevalent in the relationships and lives of the family. So I feel like if there's a mutual agreement and an understanding of we are exes, and we're like, I feel like it has to be with the significance of like through marriage, maybe you'll have kids together, because that's a different level of like integration. But if it's just like yo ex-boo from way back when comes back up or move next door, no, you're not coming over for a cup of coffee.
Absolutely not.
See, I find that different though, because I can be friends with exes, but it's because like if we were already close before, like if we were already cool and we were already close before, okay, the relationship didn't work out.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean the friendship is dead.
But I feel like
it could
easy
be touchy. It could be touchy.
Right.
But that goes back to love from a distance though.
Yeah.
Like, I don't just want to completely cut you off because like you've already been in my life for X amount of years, and then now we're just supposed to like stop talking.
But I feel like at that point, I feel like if you've moved on and you have someone else, I feel like that is more likely to turn into something more touchy when you're single and you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because when you're with someone, I feel like at that point that person's already fulfilling your needs. That person is already there for you. So it's like I could see from the spouse's perspective why the relationship as a friendship wouldn't be good, because it's like, what are you holding on to from that person that I can't give you in the sense of being in a relationship?
Here's the thing. I feel like I'm in and out on it, because now that I'm older, I'm starting to understand certain things. But younger me is like, but I still feel, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been in situations where maybe the person I was dating just talking trash about the ex. So I'm confident about, you ain't about to mess with that. You know, that's not a problem. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Every chance you get, she's this, she's that she's, so I'm like, okay, this is my man. He ain't gonna do nothing. And it's a mutual decision that they hate each other.
Yeah.
And then, maybe one day they have a conversation and it's like, wow, you're my bestie now. And then I'm like, hold up.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd that come from?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's not the case.
Yeah.
No. Mm-hmm.
But I feel like you can learn and grow from it. I feel like everything happens
For a reason.
Yeah.
And
those people are in your life to teach you lessons, and to teach you things of how to move forward in a different relationship or in different walks of life. So I feel like it's possible that you can still be friends with limits.
Yeah.
I'm not with you every day.
And preservation.
We're not kikiing every day.
Yeah.
But I can check on you every now and then. You can check on me every now and then.
I don't know.
We can go out in public.
Maybe it's a trauma response. I'm not comfortable with it because of things that I've gone through.
Mm-hmm. I can understand that.
Yeah.
I've gone through too much with it, so I prefer it. It's just too much for me.
I get it.
Yeah, we never take L's. We take lessons.
Yeah, take lessons. But that was a crazy situation. It just was, and it's like now it kind of just made me feel like. But you know what? I can't say I don't hold anything from an old relationship and bring it in my new one. If that person did something to me, that's what they did.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I'm just like my mom says, like she's an until person. I'm an until person. I'm gonna rock with you until you do this. Mm-hmm. So you know what I'm saying? I don't know, and I think communication. Like if you have certain people in your life, that needs to be known from the jump. Don't think we're gonna be together about 6-7 months and so and so just hit.
Or I always feel like it's even worse when people find out through a mutual person that someone used to mess with someone. Because to me it feels like, so what you hiding? If it's just a friendship.
And I feel like those things are the stuff that's most misconstrued sometimes, because it's never. Sometimes it's not intentional.
Right.
To be hiding that or to say.
Right.
But like sometimes it don't come up, so it's not really important.
Right.
Oh yeah, so this is the person I talk to, all that stuff. Like, I mean, I'm open, but I don't care. Like, you go through my phone, all that stuff, because ain't nothing that you gonna find.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, communication is important, yes. But I feel like, why bring up
something from the past,
unnecessary things?
I feel like
if they're not
in
the
your
moment,
life,
yeah,
right.
if they're not in the moment in life.
But I feel like too, it's just the only counterpart to that would be if that person is like actively involved.
If they're actively involved, yeah, but not if they just popping up.
Right. If they just popping up. Now, if they just popping up the blue, and I answer the door, it's like, who's that? And they look at me like, who's that? Okay. What you got going on?
How she know where you live?
Right.
That's really good.
Like, how do you know where? Yeah. Okay.
I'm just not. I don't like it. And and then you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I never thought that I was just like a mind type of person. Like I wasn't that territorial, but like when you go through things, it kind of traumatizes you. Like when you see stuff happening, it's like. Like say if I
get a glimpse of it.
Like say if I like somebody, right, and that person likes me, but I see you just acting a plumb fool with any and everybody you come in contact with. I'm just like,
you already.
That's
for the streets.
Yeah, you for the streets. And so it's like now I know how to navigate that situation because it's like baby, oh baby. Yeah. So I don't know. Like I just. When I see things from afar, I just try to stay clear of that. Because I don't, my feelings, I worked hard to get to the point.
Where you are.
Yeah. And I don't like bringing people in my life that could possibly trigger old traumas.
Yeah. Never let anyone have that control to bring up past emotions or past. Because I feel like some relationships, in the regard of like making you feel like you have to do something that you've healed from. Like when you've grown from that point, I get like reminiscing and having a moment of like, oh man, I remember when this used to affect me. But to have someone to be able to have that power to make you do something that you've worked so hard to not do, oh, you gotta go.
But see, I feel like all relationships at a certain point bring up certain insecurities that you may have put in your back pocket.
Yeah.
And they do that unintentionally. But then how do you move forward from there? Because now you're opening up wounds that you already think you've healed from, and now they brought that up unintentionally, and now you have to kind of revisit that place and moment where you were at. So then, do you blame them for the unintentional mistakes now, or do you have a conversation with them and say, okay, hey, this is what, and now I have to revisit this and re-deal with this and even though it was unintentional.
I personally feel like, okay, it's a iffy situation, because I notice when I bring up things that bother me to that person, it seems like they'll do it just because it bothered me. So I try to, like, if it's an insecurity that I have and it's really nothing that has anything to do with you, I would try to work that out with myself.
Yeah.
I feel like that's really toxic if they specifically try to do that because they know.
But people do that unintentionally. Like, some people, I wouldn't say unintentionally, but that's just like, okay, I have this thing, like, you know, I don't really live in the past. So if I'm with somebody fresh, like, I'm not going to crack, you know, crazy stuff on my ex. I'm not going to be like, oh, he was this, he was that. I'm not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't make sense. And then when you tell people what you allowed to go on in the past, then they think they can try you like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, you're not getting tips and tricks.
But then how do you be open with someone?
About what triggers you.
Yeah. So that way they know.
That'll come up, but I'm not going to be very...
You ain't gonna trash talk.
Yeah, I'm not going to trash talk
anybody.
That's not necessary. Yeah, I can tell you something that they might have done that might have rubbed me the wrong way. I can be open and honest about that, but I'm not going to trash talk that.
So you're going to be open and honest about your boundaries and what you will not accept, but not necessarily pertaining it to an ex, just in general, what you're not going to.
Yes, because I really feel like when you tell people what you allow, say if you had somebody and they cheated on you, and then you stay X amount of years after that, then they'll probably think like, so you, I can do the same thing. No, honey. Like, I'm a different person. I'm healed, so I'm not gonna allow. What if I know that you are doing something to me? I'm no way in the world I'm gonna stay about that. You know, I'm not gonna stay with it. So, I just, you know, I'm gonna let you make your own mistakes, and you know, hopefully you don't. But I'm not gonna.
I have a question. Is it worse to stay or
talk about it? Let's talk
completely cut off? And I'm talking about like cheating in particular, because I have seen.
I looked at cheating. No, I looked at you because you're the married one. I want to know how you feel about this.
So let's put this scenario out there. You and your significant other have been together for a while, right? And it starts off, because I feel like most cheating starts off with social media, or knowing someone who's close to proximity that obviously is attractive, right? But may have just been through friendships, right? And you find a couple of DMs, and then it goes from DMs to having lunch, and then from having lunch to oops.
It just happened one
time. It just happened one time.
He slipped it in.
Yeah, he slipped on a banana peel. But no, okay.
So is it okay? First, let's establish what to you is cheating.
Let's start there.
Yeah.
What is cheating?
Is it the DM? Is it okay to look at a DM and to like it and heart it and move on, or is even that considered? How'd you like it?
I feel like if it's something that you might have to hide from me, it's cheating.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? If you know that if I pick up your phone that you just like, what you doing?
Yeah. Wait.
Okay. Like, I'm, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause say if I go from being able to pick up your phone just randomly to what you doing? It don't matter what it is. Like, emotional cheating. You know what I'm saying? Like, like it's.
I feel like women are more prone to emotionally cheat than men are.
Yeah.
What is emotionally cheating? How do you cheat
women, I've heard, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, I've heard that women will cheat emotionally first before they ever cheat physically. Meaning, in the regard of a relationship, if they feel like, oh, this nigga doing some shady stuff, their heart's already not in it. So they've already moved on to, you know what I'm saying, whoever before they actually leave the relationship. Where men, we're more likely to be emotionally invested all the way, but just sexually and physically cheating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like if you're emotionally cheating, that's horrible. I feel like cheating on all ends is horrible. But you know what? I can honestly say everybody has different deal breakers.
Yeah.
So cheating to me, I ain't gonna stay. I'm not gonna stay because it's like, you know what I have to offer. You know the person that I am, and if you feel the need to
go with some
explore,
chicken head.
you want to explore that situation. You know, I'm a different person. I'm not gonna say that I haven't, just tried to see the good in people, but it doesn't go away.
Because I feel like you have to take time to cheat. Cheating is not.
Exactly.
Now, if it's a drunken situation and you know you shouldn't be getting drunk, but you get drunk anyway, okay, let's talk about your sobriety versus the being promiscuous part. But I feel like when you are intentionally cheating on your partner, you have to plan that out. You have to find somewhere to meet up.
Yeah.
Or find a time where you're not with your significant other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you planned and took time.
Yeah.
To basically let me know.
And that is the point. Like that part. Like okay, this will be the time I'll let people in on my life. But no, like okay, I was in a situation where it just took a lot of time of preparation to cheat. Well, I do whatever y'all went to go.
Oh, you was doing it.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Somebody else.
Someone else was
you
doing
was
it.
okay.
Somebody else.
Okay.
But no, it took a lot of time and preparation, like reading through DMs and stuff and text messages. Yeah, it's like.
Ooh,
I feel like every girl
that's
has
a different
done that
burn.
at some point in their life, like look through someone's phone.
Yeah, but the crazy thing, it was. She told me.
That means she felt
that.
It wasn't a good situation. It was not good. It was.
So wait, the person who he cheated with.
But did she know?
No.
That y'all was together?
That's what she told me.
She told you,
but
she
when
knew.
when did she know? Did she know before or after the cheating?
Right.
Oh baby.
No,
everybody knew.
No, I'm asking because if she didn't know,
and she's telling you,
no,
it
she
could
knew.
be from her standpoint.
She knew from get.
She knew.
Okay, well, I was to say because if she didn't know from get,
so was she telling you from the standpoint of I feel bad about this and you just gotta know, or was it more like, girl, I got your.
No,
back then, I was more so mad at my person because like, why would you do that to me? Like, she don't owe me nothing. She could have went ahead and just did her thing and kept it moving.
Right.
But you sir, no. But back then, because it was so embarrassing, like I was very young, so it kind of don't even count anymore because I was so young.
Yeah.
But back then, it came from a standpoint.
Cheating early, don't they?
They do.
God.
Back then, like it seemed like she was coming from a place of, oh yeah, I got your man, girl. You look stupid. But it was really like, sis, your man out here embarrassing you. Leave it.
I respect somebody to say something though. Like,
but it was disrespectful because even with that, you still did it. So you know what I'm saying? Like,
I think it was more so he probably did something to embarrass her.
Yeah.
So now that I'm feeling what you probably gonna feel after I tell you what I tell you, we just gonna feel it together.
Yeah.
That's more so what that is.
And I think that's trash.
Because she knew to a certain degree that he was gonna come back to you. But so she just had to go on ahead and let you know, so that way it wasn't all praise in the park.
Yeah. Like one thing I can honestly say, even though it was so long ago, that situation opened my eyes to what I should and should not accept from people. So if
in romantic relationships or just in general?
This one is more pertaining to like romantic relationships. Like, I just don't. This is ghetto to me. You know what I'm saying? This is so ghetto.
Yeah, ghetto.
Like, first of all, how do you even have access to me where you think you can just DM me something or send me anything? You know what I'm saying? Like, not to be that type of person, but I think everybody should feel that way. Everybody do not need access to you.
That's real.
True. They don't.
Honestly, yes. Like, I feel like when you like, I feel like there's no such thing as accidental cheating. I don't understand that. Like that, I can't comprehend it personally.
You can't fall if that's the case.
There's a bunch of accidental cheating going on in the
like people say that all the time, and I'm like, how you accidentally cheat on somebody? Like that makes zero sense to me. Like if somebody gets in my DM or something, like I'm not gonna talk to them. Like I'm not even gonna give them that time of day. Why would I do it? Like I see it immediately, I will know what it is, know what their intentions are, and I'm not gonna go for it. And I feel like if you go for it, you already know in your head what's good. You have the intention to cheat, so there's no accidental about it.
Yeah, it's real.
No, I'm much older now, and I know more about myself. So things like that, I will not stay for. That first situation, if I even think that you might be that type of person, I'm not even gonna go for you. I'll be like, yeah, you cute, but no, it's gonna be a no for me.
Right.
But yeah, this was amazing.
Yeah.
I can't wait to like pick back up. Like I like this. But it's so unfortunate we missed it, Nia.
Yes.
Oh,
My bun, she had something to do. But she will be back. Hopefully, like by the fourth episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, she had a family engagement, whatever. But we miss you and we love you, Bun.
We love you,
But I'm so glad y'all are here.
thank you
y'all for chatting with me. And that was the episode of That's What She Said. So we're gonna pick back up with a part 2 of this or whatever. Well, this is not part 2. This is the ending of our mental health segment. That was just a little bit about our traumas and why we are the people that we are today. How do we work through certain things and just going into self-love and figuring out how to cope with certain issues and realizing who you are. And if somebody wronged you, that's their problem. You know what I'm saying? That's their problem. You're a special person. You have a lot to offer to this world. Don't ever let what anybody else has to say or whatever they've done to you change how you feel about yourself. We are going to link some helplines in the description. So please, y'all, if y'all know anybody who's just hurting. And let me say this. Even the people that look like they got it together, check on them.
They struggling the most.
Check on
them.
Check on them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, even me sitting up here talking about it and being open about it, like, I have a lot of stuff going on that I'm not very open about. And sometimes I'll be like, dang, like, I check on y'all. Not y'all. But I'm saying, like, I check on people. Check on them. People need to feel like, you know, they got somebody. Like, so.
Be there for your friends.
Be there for your friends, everybody.
Like
everybody, like depression don't just look like the emo kid. Like it can look like the most. It can look like the most flashy person you ever seen in your life.
Emo kid.
Like for real. Like
not no more too.
It's the truth.
Depression come in Gucci, okay?
Depression come in Gucci, but nah, yeah. That on a serious note, yes. Please check on your people. We're gonna have everything tagged down below. And tune back into That's What She Said.